What's up, everybody? This is the Jedi, and I want to say welcome back to you, and welcome back to me. It really hasn't been that long since I last spoke, you guys, and I also told you that I would be getting a SD card so that I could do longer productions. Well, I'm going to need your help on this because I got the SD card. I can do longer videos, but for some reason the camera cuts off at like 47 minutes. And it doesn't really cut off. It just decides we'll split and continue. So it continues, but it's separate videos, and it doesn't end up being one that I can upload as a whole thing. So I'm just going to go, and then depending on how many sections it gives me, that's how many parts this video will be, and then it'll just be up to you to watch all the parts. If somebody under the sound of my voice knows why the camera is deciding to cut off, because I'm supposed to have 4 hours of record time, and I'm confident that I get that and all that stuff, but like I say, it cuts it, and then it just continues. It's making its own sections that don't end up being one video. So I don't know. So if somebody out there knows why it's doing it, please holler at your boy. I've done research, I've looked, I've read, I've done it all, and I can't find the causation for that at all. A few adjustments here. Not really loving the lighting. Shout out to Kara Watkins, because Kara, it's not really, it's when I'm saying sunlines, I mean, you know them dogs that their face is balled up, they just have all them wrinkles in their face. That's what the sun is turning me into. That's what I'm talking about when I say sunline. So it probably wasn't a good terminology for it, but that's what I be trying to mitigate with my lighting, you know, to get rid of the lines, you know, the creases that the sun is causing me right now, you know. So that's why you hear me say I hate the lighting. KR said, embrace it, Jedi, embrace it. But shout out to you, KR, I love you. Outside of that, you guys, I'm hoping I'm going to get to some shout outs. I've certainly made some notes for the shout outs. So I intend to get to that. And my main piece is the Joshua Brown anomaly, we will call it, because I want to go through that forensically based on what we know thus far. Now, just what I know thus far. I'm going to say it again. Just what I know just thus far. Alright? I'm going to get into that. That's going to be the centerpiece. But I began tonight with something, some follow-ups on some of the stuff I talked about in the last video. And then we will move into the Joshua Brown piece. Whatever, Jedi. Whatever. But like I say, I'm going to need you to follow the parts. I'll make sure that they're titled properly, you know. Like I think I'm calling this Joshua Brown / Judge or / Amber Guyger Judge / Tyler Perry. Alright, that's what I think I'm calling it. Alright. And so it'll just say Joshua Brown Part 2. You know what I mean? Like, I won't put that long ass title. It'll just be Joshua Brown Part 2 and whatever, how many chapters that it creates. Alright? You'll see me doing this occasionally, you guys, so that I can see the counter. Because right now the clock counter blends into my background and I can't see it because the numbers are white and so is my wall. Alright. So first, like I said, I want to begin with some random things. And the first one out of my gate is this, you guys, because I talked at length about the interview that Malik Yoba did with the twit from The Root. And something that crossed my mind when I was watching that back was the following. And the thought came to me because I was watching and learning that Tyler Perry had this grand opening for his Tyler Perry Studios, which I didn't know I thought he already had a studio. And apparently Harpo Studios that Oprah opened and owned is not the same thing. I knew that just by the size of Harpo, but still it was a studio. So, and it was plural, Harpo Studios. So I don't know. But in watching that, it provoked this because at one point, before I get into Tyler, that's what provoked this, what I'm about to tell you. He said, I just want people to know that, we including everybody here. You look at this, you look at the people that work here at this studio. We got black, Asian, white, Latino, LBGT, da 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 da. And my brain went freeze. Wait a minute now. And I had the following thought. Because this is the thing that continues to plague me and to rile me and disgust me and ponder me and confuse me. Pick a word. So if you are in a hiring position, and as I've shared with you guys, most of the jobs I've ever had in my life, I'm usually the guy that's going to hire you and fire you. All right? And so I wondered, how would I know if I've hired... What if all of a sudden all these gay people just come out of nowhere and say, you're not hiring gay people? Well, how would I know that? Unless you do something gay or you bring me a videotape of you doing something gay, how would I know? And I'm not going to sit in an interview and interview you and be asking you questions and say, oh, by the way, are you part of the LGBT community? Because that's what they're getting to. And this is very dangerous and it's a problem. Because what it's essentially saying now is that we want to be represented as a whole separate class than the rest of humanity simply because of the type of sex that we have. Nah. Because if it's anybody has the right to be making specific demands and a la carte requests on the society, it would be African people first and foremost of all. So I wondered that, like, we can't get to that point where it's like, oh, we're going to ask you who you're sleeping with so that we make sure we have a certain quota of people that are of this gay community. It's outrageous. And again, this is no slight against gay people. It's about saying, keeping it 100. Just like I don't get anything special because I love lamb or goat, you don't get anything for that. You understand? Somebody else said something funny recently. In fact, it was Adrienne Bailon. You guys know that I am a big fan of the talk show The Real. And it was funny because it was so like, okay, she got it. And I got it when she said it. I'll tell you what it was. Adrienne Bailon is 4'11". All right, she's 4'11". She's 4'11". She's 4'11". She said in one of her recent videos, she was saying, "You guys, last time I was at the doctor, for a checkup or whatever she was having. She goes, they said I could possibly be 5 feet tall. She goes, but I've been 4'11" my whole life. So her team got a tape measure and they were going to start measuring her. While they were getting it set up to, get the thing to measure her, she goes, I'm sure I'm 4'11", you guys. I know I'm 4'11". She goes, but if it turns out that it says 5 feet, I self-identify as 4'11". I loved that because then me and my sister in New York, we were on the phone and we had because we will kill anything to the last degree when it's funny and we just make it even worse. And I just love that because it's this whole self-identify, because you'll recall that when Malik Yoba was on the Breakfast Club with there was a gay dude. They were all gay people of varying degree. One was a dude that was not a dude. I don't know, damn it. That's the part I hate the most because I'm not going to get all confused. There was 3 gay people up there with him, damn it. And one of them was saying, when they would mention, and so when a baby boy is born, and then the other one would stop him and say, no, that the doctor assigned you. As if now they're trying to move it to the point where when you're born, the doctor sees you and sees if you got what your genitalia is, that we have to wait for you to self-identify at some point in your life. Over my mother's dead body, do you understand what I'm telling you? Because think about even the woman who just gestated and had that baby and carried that baby for 9 months, swollen feet, aching back, mood changes, cravings of food, weight gain, keep going. The baby kicking. When that baby's born, they say, Miss So-and-so, congratulations, you have a new baby girl or a new baby boy. Or if the father is there to cut the cord, ooh, baby, it's a boy, baby, it's a girl, whatever. And they're trying to interrupt that whole natural process. I am over it. You understand? It's like, for me, and I think I speak for a lot of people who really don't have any problem with gay people at all. It's just like, but now you're pushing it. You're pushing it. And we won't accept this from anyone or any group trying to force a lifestyle or a change in what is normal. I can even allow that you're born gay. I can allow that because, like I said, I believe there's something they can do now before you even come to Earth that does certain genes to the embryo and indeed the fetus that makes them come out gay. I believe they're born gay. I'm fine with that. So we're cool with that. So, but now don't try to now become something else on top of that. Like, oh, I get this now and I'm a whole different breed of human being and all this sort of stuff. I'm over that. I'm over that. And to me, it just kills the cause. It just kills the cause. It just kills the cause. It's kind of like, whenever we see riots after yet another police murder of one of our people, white people always sit back on their sofas and say, why are they burning down their own neighborhood? So this is that. Why are gay people burning down their own respect? You're entitled to a certain level of respect and all that simply because you exist. You're a human being. That's all fine. But we're not going to have these special, now it's a whole nother race of people that, like when he was saying, and we have the LBGT, I'm like, well, how do you know that, Tyler? How do you know that? I'm sure that maybe some of it he can just speak because they're flaming around and they're, it's like, oh, that must be a gay person or it's a lesbian or whatever. Some of them are just, you look at it and you go, well, that must be that. But you can also be wrong because the lines are so blurred now. You can see a sister that looks like a straight up dyke and she ain't no lesbian. You understand? You can see a dude that many of the dudes are looking like women now anyway, and they're not gay. So it's just, I'm not getting down into that. I know who the creator of the universe is. I know who created me, and I know the law that he has laid down. And I've already expressed the consistency that he expresses throughout every single detail of his creation. And for me, as a righteous person, as a one who fears my maker and the last day and wants to earn his grace and mercy, I'm not going along with any shit that goes against anything that Allah has communicated to mankind. Period. The damn end. That's where I'm at. All right. So I'm over it. Now, as I said, Tyler had this big opening for his Atlanta studios, and apparently he is the first black person to own their own studio outright, production studio outright. It's 350 acres. I'll read it. It says Tyler Perry made history this week with the grand opening of Tyler Perry Studios. Tyler is the first black person to own a major film studio outright. The Atlanta Film Complex spans 330 acres with 12 sound stages, larger than the Burbank, California studios, lots that are owned by Warner Brother, Paramount, and Walt Disney Studios combined. This thing is massive, everybody. It's massive. It's massive. It's massive. You understand? They even have a full replica, an actual size rebuilt replica of the White House. Like, it's not a miniature. It hasn't been scaled down. It's the White House. Just to give you an idea. You understand? And also, I was, everybody and their mother was at the premiere, except for me. That's fine. Whatever, Tyler. But what made me sad, everybody, is because of what I talk about all the time and what I was talking about in my last video when I was talking about character and Christianity, how they are one and how they are, that ingredient of Christianity has destroyed and continues to destroy the character of African people. It is the reason why we cannot come together, because there is no way of life with that trick act. There's no way of life. Why does that relate to this, Jedi? Because you understand, if Tyler Perry was a Muslim, then, you see, for Muslims, it's always, there's a brotherhood and a sisterhood that we are bound to from the divine. So, the atmosphere is going to be different because he is Christian and so was everybody else out there. All the big stars showed up. Cicely Tyson, I mean, everybody you could name was at this premiere, except for me. And the intention is not there because the character is not there. You see, it's just a different way of life. It's or I should say lack of way of life, because he's not going to keep it black. He's boasting that he's letting everybody, he's showing what can be and all that, and that's all fine. But we don't have that luxury. We only have that luxury if everything had been so perfectly even up till now. It's not. We still have hundreds of years to catch up. I think they said something like the estimate is it would take another 230 years for African people to finally catch up to the economic divide that divides African people and white people. Just that group alone. You understand what I'm saying? So it needs to just be us. Muslims would not be afraid to do that. Like, this is just us and this is what we're doing. That's first. And the whole intention of it would be just completely different. I'm happy for him. This is a personal accomplishment for him. And indeed it will enrich the lives of some. But it does not have implications for the whole body of our people. That's what I'm trying to communicate. If this was Muslim run, then it would have implications for the entire, what we call the ummah, the entire community. You understand? But it won't. There'll be black people that have jobs and all that stuff, and like I say, I'm not knocking any of that. That's positive. But I'm saying we have to be over all these people with these millions of dollars and billions of dollars, and it's not reflected in the entire community. That's the way it would be with Muslims. Just so you know specifically what I'm talking about. Just like y'all go to church and give y'all tithes, plus the love offering, plus the other thing, and plus, and they constantly passing the damn bucket. You don't ever see a return on that money. You understand? As Muslims, when we give what is known as zakat, which is the offering that you make on your own, there's no buckets being passed at mosques. You don't, because first of all, you're not allowed to own the mosque. In this country, you have to have it under some kind of a name because of legal reasons. But no person can own the house of Allah. It's not. You don't do that. We don't do that. So we all are aware that the building doesn't just stand on its own. And so you give your zakat, what you can. You understand? And so, but when we have Ramadan, and we have our celebration at the end of Ramadan, usually the imam or the board members, the elders, whatever, go around and start handing out envelopes. Because we can't just have excess money just sitting up that the mosque is not using. And the imam can't just take it and be buying a Bentley and living in some big $100 million home. That goes back and gets distributed amongst the people. You see what I'm saying? A community. A community. So if I'm Tyler Perry, there would be a whole fund now set up. A bank. You can build a 330-acre studio that's bigger than several of the biggest other studios on earth combined. You can open up a damn bank, Tyler Perry, and Oprah, and Bill Cosby, and Wiz Khalifa, and Cardi B. I mean, just start naming all those people that have millions of dollars, and in some cases billions of dollars. We have a bank that's only for us. I could go more into that, and I probably will in another video, but I'm just trying to help you understand. It's just a different intention when you're dealing with black Christian folks. It's just different. They're just happy he got it, and maybe some people get a job. That's small thinking. Small thinking is why we are where we are right now. You understand? You have to think big, and you have to move big. You understand? You must. Okay, there's some centering issues going on. Whatever, I'm over it. So I'm over it, you know. I want to move now to, and I probably will jump around because I'm not sure if I said everything on that I wanted to say. All right. I want to talk about this judge that came down and hugged this white devil murdering whore. First, I want to mention the person that was over there stroking her hair and fixing her hair, and the stylist came in and all of it. The judge was on this Tamron Hall. I didn't know she had a new show. But the judge was on there. And she claimed that because Amber had been remanded to custody, she wasn't free to, you know, move around, all this kind of thing. That she has to be searched. And so that person, that female judge, that female bailiff that came over, was actually searching her hair for contraband. Who amongst us believes that? Who believes that? Who believes that? If you believe that, I have wings sticking out of my back right now. You just can't see them. Who believes that? Well, nobody believes that, because it actually looked more like she was like how girls play with Barbie dolls. She looked like this was her fantasy of you know how, because the first thing little girls do when they get a Barbie doll is the hair is the only thing they deal with. You feel me? So it looked like she was playing with a white Barbie's hair. Not only that, your boy was a corrections officer for 3.5 years. Thank you, please. So while I was in a men's facility, I know about strip search. I know about body search. I know about checking for contraband. And that is not how you check for contraband in hair. The bitch is sitting in court. If you think that a defendant is somehow dangerous to the court proceeding, they're searched before they even come in that damn courtroom. Don't give me you're doing a search right there and just her hair. How come you just have her stand up and do a full body search then? And the cavity and all of it. So this doesn't have the ring of truth, the bitch is lying. But she's also getting what she deserves, because an atheist group has filed a formal complaint against her, saying that it was unethical for her to come down from the bench and give Amber a damn hug. She had the nerve to say, I didn't want to lose Amber. Oh my God, black people. I can't, dude. I can't. Like, thank God I'm a Muslim, because if I wasn't, I think something like this would drive me to drugs and alcohol and suicide and God knows what else. This is outrageous. I didn't want to lose Amber. She also claims that her legal duties were over when she came down from the bench. No, heifer, because you're still in the robe and you're still in the courtroom. So that does not fly in the eyes of the Jedi. Do you understand me? It doesn't fly. It does not fly. It does not fly. Take that down the damn street. She also claims that Amber said to her, do you think that there's, that I go to heaven or I'll be forgiven or something like this? And she was like, of course, because of course all judges speak for the divine, clearly. Yeah, you will be forgiven, And I then went back to my chambers and gave her, I feel like she said she gave her Bible. Whatever, she gave her a Bible. All right? Well, this was inappropriate for several reasons that I can imagine. I don't need to imagine it. I'll articulate it. Number one, there's such thing in the Constitution, bitch, that you swore to uphold before you put on that tacky black robe. Separation of church and state. You don't get no more state than a courtroom and a judge. That's pretty clear state. You understand? So, the closest they ever come to religion is they make you put your hand on, they make you swear on the Bible or something like that. And they don't really do that now. It's just you raise your right hand and swear to tell the truth. So help you God. Not really any Bibles going on. But the other thing is, I'm a Muslim. And what about, and so you are then, not only you being inappropriate and stepping over the lines of church and state, but you're promoting one particular religion. I'm a Muslim. So I'm offended. Because this is like the decade of being offended at everything. So I'm offended now. I just decided I'm offended. I just realized I'm offended. I'm offended. Because she didn't go back there and get her a Quran. Not only that, what about a Veda from the Hindu religion? She didn't get that. She didn't get a Torah. So this was problematic all the way around. And so while I really don't care that it's an atheist group that's bringing the formal complaint, I always tell you what we're interested in is the truth, everybody, no matter what the source. So even though they are atheists, what they are doing is the truth and it's right, and I support them 100%. Period. You understand me? I also need to let you guys know it's late to you guys, and I made the mistake of taking a sleeping pill because I didn't know the universe was going to tell me to speak now. But here I am. So it's very late. But anyways, so she's in violation of church and state, and there she was up there crying on every interview that I saw her on, and no, it's too late for tears now, Heffa. You got so wrapped up into this white heifer that you have now, isn't it ironic that you've probably jeopardized your place on the bench? And I also noticed the deafening silence of white folks throughout this entire thing, quite frankly. The entire thing, even since the murder of both of them. They're very silent. Very silent. Silence is deafening. You understand what I'm saying? So suddenly she's a pastor now, you see, in the courtroom. And by the way, she could have just said to her, I don't know what to tell you, because she claims that Amber asked her if she could have a hug. She asked her twice. And then she said in this interview, she goes, and I don't think any human being would have denied her that hug. Yes, they would have, Heffa, because you think that Dante, who's just been convicted of murder, could ask the white judge sitting up on the bench to come down and give him a hug? He would have said, no, sir, that's not going to happen. It's not appropriate in this courtroom, or some bullshit like this. You see? And if she's that so concerned about her spiritual well-being, she will have a chaplain in the prison, thank you, please. You see what I'm saying? So you can find Christ, whoever you need to find, once your ass is behind bars. You understand what I'm telling you? I'm over it. I'm over it, everybody. I'm over it. I'm over it. This was such a display of ignorance and slavery. You know? Just slavery. You know? The black bailiff stroking her hair. I don't care what she said. She was stroking her hair, because when you have an inmate, especially when you have white inmates with that hair, then we don't go through your hair. You understand? We have you bend over and do this briskly. You see what I'm saying? If we really feel like we could be looking for something, then we may have gloves on and then go, or something like this. But this was not a contraband search, everybody. The bitch is lying. Period. The damn end. And I hope she is debenched for this. I do. I do. I do. And indeed, because I want any and all of our people who are in the society, because like I say, we're in every sector of the society. And if we were there on behalf of our people, our entire predicament could change tomorrow. But everybody that you have in key positions in this nation, we're in government, we're in industry, we're in, just name anything. We're represented, but just in color only. You understand? If it was Muslims, I'm telling you, we'd be there on behalf of our damn people, period, the end. To period. It's not even a thought for us. It's like that's just our way of life. This is what we do. But black Christians get into positions and they just there for them. They own ass. That's it. That's it. So I'm not going to be all heartbroken when any of our people are dethroned and torn down at whatever sector of the society they're in. Especially if they've been there and not been trying to be actively there for our people. I don't care what happens to you. I don't care. I don't care. Because all this me right now, me stuff is the thing that's holding us back. You look at Latinos. If one gets into something someplace, suddenly they bring their people with them. We don't do that, you see. And the main ingredient is this Christian vomit. There's no way of life. There's no way of life with that. There's no code of living. You understand? It makes me sick, dude. It makes me sick. So I'm over her. All right. Okay, I mentioned that to Tyler. Okay, I talked about the gay thing. Some other side note I remember writing. This is random as hell, everybody. I'm not going to put that in here. Never mind. I'll get another video. There's something I was going to say. So, I want to get into this Joshua Brown anomaly, because I want to first say to my people, let us put down and let us ignore and shut down anyone who would accuse us of conspiracy theories. Because as African people, we know the devil, and we know that there is nothing that they have not and won't do. We don't imagine this out of thin air. You understand?